Okay, hello everyone. So we are here together for the webinar about the Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering. It started 3 minutes ago, so I think we can start for today. It will last about 1 hour. So please stay connected, and if in any case, the webinar will be recorded and will be sent to you. So no problem. So today we are together with Joël Bordenave, who is the head of the master program. Together with me, we will present you the Master of Science, first the school, the Master of Science. We'll talk about the content of the master. Here you can see about the summary. We talk about the content, the application process, the scholarship opportunities, the campus, clubs, etc. And in the second part, we will also welcome two master students, Angie and Fanny Ragava, and they will be able to talk about their own experience in the master program. Also, we received all your questions that you asked online on the application. So we'll try to answer all your questions during this webinar. You will see every slide is prepared for this. And at the end of the presentation, there will be a question and answer where if we haven't yet answered your question, you definitely can write it down in the question and answer box. Okay. All right, let's start. So first of all, a quick overview of ISAE-SUPAERO, the school itself. So ISAE-SUPAERO is one of the world leaders in aerospace engineering higher education. Our motto is excellence with passion. We believe that there is no excellence without passion about aerospace. And it was founded more than 100 years ago by ambitious, passionate scientists. And nowadays, our mission is to train the engineers, the aerospace engineers, who will be able to meet the challenges of the decarbonization of aviation and new space. We are located in Toulouse. You will see in the next slide where it is located, in the south of France. Toulouse is known as the heart of the aerospace, French aerospace valley, and also the European capital of aerospace. You will see why. We are surrounded by a lot of companies very important in the aerospace domain. And you will see, but we're going to focus about one program today, the Master of Science. But you will see that we have different post-bachelor programs here at ISAE-SUPAERO, Master, Advanced Master, PhDs, and more. So where are we? We are in Toulouse. Toulouse is in the south of France, close to the close to the Spanish border. You see here that we are surrounded by a lot of companies very important in the aerospace domain, which give, of course, all our students strong opportunities for them to be trained by professionals of the industry. It's also a big asset when they have to find their internship, their first job. And for us also to build our program, we listen to those industrial and we receive their needs so that we train the engineers they will need for the challenges we are facing nowadays. See here in this slide, you see all our industrial partners. This is very important. ISAE-SUPAERO works a lot with its partners. Once again, they help us to build our programs. They help our students to find their first job. We receive also a lot of them in our courses to teach. They come in ISAE-SUPAERO on campus to teach you about real life problems. A few alumni that maybe you know from their name and from their companies. We have, for example, the CEO of Airbus, Guillaume Faury, Elodie Viau, who works for the European Space Agency, famous astronauts. You maybe know Thomas Pesquet, who did ISAE-SUPAERO and who is now working for the European Space Agency. Very recently, also Sophie Adenau, who is a new astronaut candidate for the European Space Agency. Also, an older one, the founder of Dassault Aviation, Marcel Dassault, etc. So as I was telling you, at ISAE-SUPAERO, different higher education programs. We are in total about a bit less than 2,000 students here on campus, between engineer students, master and advanced masters, and doctoral students, PhD students. And important to mention, we have 40% international students, because of course, all those master and advanced masters are mostly taught in English. This is to welcome all our international students on site, on campus. All right, so now we're going to talk a bit more in detail about Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering, and we are welcome Joel for this task. Thank you.
Thank you, Justine. Now we will speak about some technical aspects of the Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering. So you will see on this first slide a global view of the 2 years courses we deliver to the students. Before starting, we can say that this Master of Science is relying on, let's say, 5 strong assets that we consider very useful and very useful for the students. The first one is maybe the most important. We deliver the students a very strong common core in engineering. I mean, this common core will cover the full first semester and a big part of the second semester also. And some common core courses also are also present in the third semester. We think that delivering such a common core is very important because you guys, students, are coming from different countries and different universities with multiple courses, either electrical engineering bachelor, or maybe aerospace engineering, or even mechanical engineering. So these different backgrounds need to be uniformized in order to get something which is interesting to start the big part, the main part of the courses, which is the major. So we provide a good background, even in management and foreign languages. I mean, in humanities, not only on the technical aspects, but will make you able to choose the best major in the third semester. Well, a second asset is the 1-year part-time research project. This research project covers the second and the third semester. It's done it can be done by groups of 2 students, or even by single students, but it's always done through a close cooperation with the researchers of ISAE-SUPAERO. I mean, every student will be assigned a supervisor, which is actually a researcher, and it will work on this project for 2 semesters. This is a very important part of the courses, which is mandatory, of course, and which is very challenging because every research project has been proposed by the researchers of the school. Then another asset is the wide choice of elective courses. Around 20 elective courses are available for the students in the second semester. These electives can be seen as a way of preparing the majors. Some courses are related to the majors that you will take in the third semester. And some courses can be seen as an opportunity to open your spectrum to wider technical aspects of the aeronautical engineering. Then we have a choice of 7 majors that will be proposed to the students, and each of you will choose 1 major, of course, which is mandatory, and you will finish by the last step, which is the 1 semester master thesis, but will be completed either in the industry or in a laboratory in France or abroad. So we'll see on the next slide the same courses, but with details about the common core. So you can well we can come back to this one. On this slide, you can have the number of credits which is given to every part of the courses. Keeping in mind that in France we use the European system. I mean, each year requires 60 credits, so you can have the balance between the common core, the elective courses, the major, and then the master thesis as an example. Okay, now deeper into details for the common core that covers the scientific and technical courses, I mean, but also the humanities and the foreign languages and some soft skills that are absolutely necessary for engineers, not only technical aspects. And as I said, the objective is really to make you able to choose the best major for you, whatever your background before joining ISAE-SUPAERO. Then you have the complete list of the elective courses. So you'll have to choose one course per item here. So 4 courses must be selected with some constraints depending on the major you have chosen before, sorry. Then this is the complete list of the majors which are proposed to the students. Basically, the 7 majors in blue cover all the activities of the research topics at ISAE-SUPAERO. I mean, for instance, the advanced aerodynamics and propulsion is quite related to the propulsion department. The aerospace system and control is more centered on control, signal processing, and electronics aspects. Aerospace structures is, well, it's quite obvious. It's fully dedicated to structures and to the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Embedded systems is more related to the Department of Computer Science, as it covers a wide range of courses about what is an embedded system, basically. Space systems is a very demanded major, and this is one of the 2 majors which are totally focusing on space. The next one is satellite applications and new space. So the first one is more related to the system themselves, and then the second one is more related on the applications and what can be done in space. And the last one, systems engineering, is maybe wider, as the techniques which are seen in this major are of course applicable to every aeronautical system, but even for different systems like well, transport systems, chemical systems, and whatever. So it's quite wide. Then for you guys who are preparing a new major, that will be called, I guess, aircraft design. This major will open in 2025. And as you will enter, you will enter at this master in 2024. This major will open the next year. But as the major is given in the second year, in the first semester, this one will be available for you, I guess. So the program is not definitely fixed, but this is something we are developing right now. So this is a plus. And the master thesis covered the full last semester, the 4th semester, as I said. So on the next slide, we will see some examples of research projects. So all these research projects are conducted with researchers, as I said. This is a very important process for us, because some students are working together with well, researchers, professors, but also with PhD students. For instance, I see the second one in the satellite applications and new space major. the analysis of that planetary defense mission is a PhD program, which is already working well, which is under study here at SUPAERO. And this program is taken by 2 PhD students, and the master student is working closely with the students during the second and the third semester. One main asset of this research project is also that some students, if the work is sufficiently developed, can apply to some conferences. I mean, some students have the possibility of proposing publications, papers, articles in international conferences. And every year we have some students that will attend international conferences in the domain of their major, of course. This is a very challenging opportunity for the students. Then, just an overview of the research department. I didn't speak about the department of the school, but well, basically, you can see we have 2, let's say, mechanical engineering department, which is the DMSM, Mechanics and Structures, and the DAAP, Aerodynamics, Energetics, and Propulsion. This is what we call in the international standard the mechanical engineering department. And we have 2 departments, the DCASE and DISC, which are more related to, let's say, electrical engineering. We see the aerospace vehicles design and control department and the complex system engineering. So these departments are more related on electrical engineering, like the last one, the DIOS. So we share this department in different activities, and every department has around 40 researchers, let's say. And ISAE-SUPAERO is also belonging to joint research units. 3 of them are just described here. The first one gathers all the schools and research centers in the area of Toulouse, which are focusing on aerospace engineering. ENAC, which is another school just close to SUPAERO, and ONERA, which is the French aerospace lab. The same for NET, which is more related to intelligence, natural intelligence and artificial intelligence. This is a close relation between our school and the University of Toulouse. And the Institut Clément Ader, which is a joint research lab for everything that covers mechanical engineering and materials in the area of Toulouse. Okay, then maybe 3 important aspects of the master in aerospace engineering. The first one is, as you know, that the program is fully taught in English. And in your case, French will become a foreign language, and the French will be mandatory for all of you. We also have the support of a career center. The career center here at SUPAERO helps the students to look for internships, to make a resume, and everything which is interesting to find a job, of course, and to find internships, to prepare your interviews, and even to prepare your salary debate with the companies, of course. This is very important also. And last, ISAE-SUPAERO has a strong engagement in the ecological transition. This is something that you will discover along the 2 years by many courses which are related to decarbonization of aviation, of course, and to the ecological transition, with many projects that will be proposed to the students, many conferences, and yes, many opportunities. Okay.
Maybe
the
keep going.
Okay.
Did you finish?
Maybe
No?
there was one
Oh,
before.
yeah, sorry.
Yes, with with the diversity, which is our strength. This is quite important because, as you can see here, we have a map of your of the students. Where I think this is true for this year, but this is almost the same every year. So we welcome students from everywhere, from Asia, of course, from Europe, mainly from Spain, Italy, Greece, Portugal, UK, Germany, Austria, and so on, Poland. Some from Africa, some from America, and a lot from Asia also. And there is maybe something which is quite important, which is the percentage of girls in our class, which is around 30%, which is almost the double as what we can observe in France, in generally speaking, in Europe. The number of girls involved in scientific courses is very reduced in Europe, and we are very proud of the number of girls we have in this master. So I think I'm done, and I will let Justine comment what happens after graduation.
We might have some questions later for you.
Yes.
About what do our students do after graduation? So one important figure is to know that more than 70% of our students find their job before obtaining their degree. Okay, so there is a high demand nowadays on the domain and aerospace for engineers, aerospace engineers. So you shouldn't have to worry too much when at finding your first job. Where do our students work? They work mostly in aeronautics or in space, but also IT or defense, also in research, telecommunication, or teaching. You see here our main recruiters for our students. So there are Airbus, of course, Thales, Safran, Ariane Group, Capgemini Engineering, or Acodis. And most of our students, for 70%, they found their first job in France, and 30% find them abroad. Okay, so this is totally up to you and up to the network you're capable of building during your 2 years of master program. Just to show you, to have an idea, you can definitely do this research on LinkedIn, but all those are former students from the master program. And you can see that some of them are doing their PhD, some of them are drone engineers, embedded software engineers, flight test analyst engineer, support to systems engineering, Galileo ground mission segment engineer. So just to show you a little bit what are the different fields in which you can work and different job titles you can have at the end of the 2 years of master program. All right, so one of your main questions that we received was about the application process. So now we saw about the content of the 2-year master, now how to apply to the master program. So first of all, one prerequisite would be for you to be having, to have or to be in the last year of your bachelor degree. So what kind of bachelor degree are accepted? We accept aerospace, mechanical engineering, mechatronics, electronics, electrical, computer science, telecommunications, okay? All those are bachelor degree that are welcomed to apply. Also, students studying their bachelor in mathematics or physics or science and engineering are also welcomed. It is important to know that you can apply during your last year of bachelor degree, okay? Even if you don't have all your last transcript, of course, that you will be receiving during the last year of bachelor. So right now we are accepting application for September 2024, which means that it's starting 1 year earlier. We are starting the application to receive since the 2nd of October. And for the first application period session, it will be until November 27th. This is the main application period because this is when there is absolutely no applicants already in the master program. So all spots are free, available for you guys. So this is an opportunity, more chance for you when you apply during the first session. And we'll see also that during the first session, you have the opportunity to apply for scholarships program, which is the only session, which means if you apply after November 27th, our scholarship program will be closed. So how it works, like if you apply before November 27th, you will receive your results online by January 23rd in 2024. What do you need? What kind of documents will ask you? So there's no interview and no exam. It's all about an online application. So please work well on your application, which means work well on your resume. We will ask you your CV. Okay. We want to know what kind of what did you study before, if you had any working experience, which is not compulsory. Some students have, some students don't have. It's totally fine. We'll ask you for your motivation letter. It's also called cover letter. A motivation letter, we want to know why do you want to study aerospace engineering? Why at ISAE-SUPAERO in Toulouse in France? If you are thinking about a major you would like to take in the second year, what is your career project? That's all the motivation we want to read in your motivation letter. Like to know about your background and your career goals, okay? So we will ask you for your highest diploma. So if you are in your last year of bachelor degree, you will not have your bachelor diploma yet. So you will provide a certificate of enrollment, okay, from your university. We'll ask you also your transcripts. Transcript means like all the grades you receive since your first semester at university, okay? So usually it will be your past transcript from the last 2 or 3 years or sometimes 4 years. We'll ask you also for 2 letters of recommendations. So it's 2 letters minimum. It can be more than 2. Some students provide sometimes 3 or 4, but the most important is to have 2, okay? 2 letters of recommendation from academics. So at least 1 professor from your university, but it can also be a mentor from your internship, okay? We will at least ask for 1 letter from 1 professor. It can be from 2 professors. It's totally fine. At least 1 from a professor. It's a program taught in English, so we will ask for all non-native speakers from those countries you see here in light blue to provide an English test. This is without any exception, okay? Even if you have been studying your bachelor in English, but if you are from another country of those written here, like Australia, if your nationality is not from Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, South Africa, UK, or United States, you will need to provide an English test. So this is very important. There's no exception made for this English test results. The English test must be less than 2 years old. And if you don't have the English test while you apply, it's okay. You can provide it later. It means like if you have your English test planned on November 25th and you want to apply today, you can totally apply mentioning for English test that you will take the test on this date. And you provide this document instead of the English test. And then we will note and we will accept your application anyway, all right? Your application can also pass in front of the committee if you don't have an English test. If you are admitted, you will be admitted within the condition of providing an English test before July 2024. All right, so this is not blocking. However, it is blocking if you want to apply for a scholarship, because for scholarship, we ask for a full complete application before November 27th. So including the English test. We also have many questions about the GRE test. Why is it not mandatory? It's because you can provide it or not. It's not mandatory. And we add it as a non-mandatory document because we noticed that some of you will also apply to other schools possibly, and some schools ask for a compulsory GRE test. So if you took that test, why not adding it, all right? If it's a good test, it will always give an additional information about yourself, about your application. But if you don't take the GRE test, it's okay, all right? You don't have to. It's not mandatory, so it will not influence the admission committee if you have or not this document. And the application fee is of €100. You can pay online with credit card or by wire transfer, all right? All these documents must be in English, so you will write your letter of motivation in English, your CV in English. And if your transcript and diploma are in another language than English or French, please also translate it. Have a certified translation. Okay, I think I've been quite complete on these documents. If you have more questions, we can answer to it later. Excellent scholarship programs I will manage. They are, as I said, open to application before November 27th. So you still have about a bit more than 1 month to apply. When do you apply? It's simple. It's at the end of the online application for the master program. You will have a last page opening at the end, which will ask you if you want to upload one motivation letter for each scholarship program that are available with ISAE-SUPAERO. So we have 4 scholarship programs today. They are all providing a full, complete scholarship, which means they provide for your tuition fees and for living expenses, which can depend according to each scholarship between 5,000 and 7,000 euro per year, which normally covers for your tuition fees and your housing, all right? It is not included as a housing in scholarship, but since you have living expenses, you will have extra money to pay for your housing. What else? Eligibility criteria for scholarships. There are a GPA of minimum 3 out of 4 or 75% or 12 out of 20. Also, if you want to, you can apply to 1, 2, 3, or 4 scholarships, okay? You can apply to all of them, but pay attention that each scholarship is different. We don't like to see the same motivation letter for each scholarship. It doesn't show a lot of investment from your side to adapt your letter for each scholarship. So, for example, Airbus scholarship is for students interested in aeronautics. If you want to study space systems, it will not be working with this scholarship, okay? For example, if you want to apply for the Toulouse Graduate School of Aerospace Engineering, what we call TSAE, it's a scholarship for students who like to do research and who want to pursue after the master program towards a PhD. So we expect students who have already a background with research, who like to do research and who wants to continue with research. So we will await a motivation letter oriented with research. All right, and the foundation and ISAE-SUPAERO scholarships are more general scholarships, which are here to help excellent students to get some financing to come to ISAE-SUPAERO. So all those scholarships are excellent scholarship program. We will look at your motivation. We will look at your transcript to the grades you received during your bachelor, and also important at your recommendation from your professors or mentors. Okay, also be aware that you also have other possibilities of finding fundings. Campus France is a French entity for the promotion of study in France in your own country. Each of your country have an office, Campus France. So I strongly suggest you get in touch with them to know what kind of scholarships they provide for your nationality, for your government, okay? So it's an institution from the French government based in your country to help you to come study in France. So sometimes they have scholarships as well for you locals. They also have the FL program. So for the FL program, it is the school itself. So it's the admission committee who will select some of your applications, the best ones, to be selected or to be presented for the FL program. So for this, you don't have anything to do. It's more mostly work hard on your application for the master program. And we will select some of them to present for FL scholarship. And also Campus France is also for you guys one day. If you are admitted and registered in the program, they will help you with all your visa administrative process. And other solutions, of course, are with your local governments, possibly, and also with banks. A lot of students make a contract with a bank loan for coming to study in France. All right, about the campus, I'll go quickly because time goes very fast. So for you to know where you'll be studying at ISAE-SUPAERO, so we have a lot of different equipments, of course, cutting-edge research equipments for our aerospace engineering students to study with the best facilities and the best research equipments. So we have anechoic rooms, SL simulators, flight simulators, a turboreactor test bench, aeroacoustic wind tunnels, one of the biggest in Europe for a school. We have a white room specialized in the conception of CubeSats, a drone room. We also have a fleet of light planes, and each MSc students get the chance to do one flight during their 2 years of master program. We also have that question. It is possible to take a course to pilot those planes, but it's a course in French at ISAE-SUPAERO. And so there is a selection at the beginning of the year for you who may want to study these pilot classes. But it's once again, it's like an activity included on campus, and you need to be selected for this task because they take only 30 students per year. So that's said. We also have an Inov space, an Aerotech, which is brand new, opened last October, so it's only have 1 year. On campus, you have all sorts of sport facilities, of course, dining activities, housing facilities. So it's really a campus where you can do it all. You can sleep, eat, do your sport, meet your friends, do a lot of things on campus. We'll talk also a bit about the student residence, which are very an asset for your international students. When you come studying for 2 years in France, you can be hosted on campus. Also, a lot of different sport and clubs that are accessible to all our students. You'll have a choice among 80 to 100 different clubs and associations through different associations from held by the students at ISAE-SUPAERO. So whether you want to study, to work with technical activities like drones, aeromodeling, robotics or space, everything you can do on campus. Whether you want to study arts, photography, debating, film. We have very active groups on campus also, or music. Music rooms are available in the student house. Sport, you can do them all. We are very close from the mountains and from the sea, so a lot of clubs also are oriented in this direction. And as I told you, we have student residence on campus. So there are 6 facilities that can host about 990 students on campus. So it's great for you when, once again, you come from far away and you can book your accommodation in advance to arrive at ISAE-SUPAERO in France with already a room booked for you. There is a service called Toolbox. Toolbox is a service offered to all our international students this service will help you, as I say, to book your accommodation in advance. They will help you to get your transport card as soon as you arrive on site. They will help you to open a bank account, take an appointment. They help you with all the affiliation to the social security, to the housing allowance that all students receive in France to help them pay their rent. So it's a government housing allowance that all students receive to help them pay their rent. So a room at ISAE-SUPAERO will be between 350 to 400 euro for a normal room per month, a normal room on campus. And you will have access to Toulouse, which is a great city. It's been voted as the first student city in France for 2 years now, I think. A lot of activities you can do. It's a very a big city, but not too big, where you can enjoy a lot of activities and sports, and very linked to the aerospace domain. So a lot of also people from all over the world coming here in Toulouse to work as an engineer. So it creates a very vibrant dynamism in the city. Okay, I've been talking a lot. I hope you did follow up so far. I will just show you a small video, and then we'll welcome our students to come online, and we'll ask them a few questions before answering all your questions. All right.
If life is an equation, we are all searching for our unknown variable. At ISAE-SUPAERO, this unknown variable, the motivation that drives us, is our ambition to shape the world of tomorrow. This drives us to explore, to create, to innovate, all at the heart of the capital of the European aerospace industry. It compels us to master high technology, to use everything that physics has to offer, so we can defy gravity. This mission has made us a leader in aerospace engineering higher education. Together, we go beyond boundaries. At ISAE-SUPAERO, we work together to transform excellence into expertise, aspirations into accomplishments, passion into pride. To this aim, we rely on the wealth of talents of our staff and students, and on the quality and diversity of our programs. Our drive for excellence, shared with the most successful corporations and with our prominent partners, has an international impact. Because the realm of possibilities is always expanding. Because research and engineering are a collective endeavor. We are heirs to the vision of the industrial pioneers, building on their foundations, molded and inspired by them. The values we share forge who we are and the people we will become. If life is an equation, if searching for our unknown variable means shaping our future, then let us reach for the stars and seize the keys to create the world of tomorrow.
Okay, we're back. Thank you for holding so far. So we are welcoming with us Fanny and Angie. Are you guys here? Yeah, I can see you.
Hi.
Thank you for joining. So we have prospect students interested in joining the Master of Science like you did 2 years ago. So I have a few questions for you guys. First of all, like, how was it to arrive in France at ISAE-SUPAERO without knowing French?
And I can answer this. I didn't knew French when I came here.
Okay.
It was okay. Like a lot of people on campus speak English. So in the beginning, it might be a bit difficult if you go into the city, but on the campus, it's fine. So.
All right. And you studied French in additional in your curriculum, like once a week?
Yes, here, yes, once a week on Friday, every afternoon, every Friday afternoon. Yeah.
All right. So once again, students don't need to speak French in advance when they arrive in France at ISAE-SUPAERO because everything is in English. So Fanny, you come from India.
Yes.
Yes. And what did you study before? What was your bachelor?
My bachelor's was in aerospace engineering as well. Then I worked for about a year and a half, and then I came to. Yeah.
How was the first year coping with all the courses?
In the beginning, it was difficult because my transition into master's was not directly after my bachelor. So for a month or so, it was a bit difficult to again get accustomed to the academic life. But eventually, it was good. Yeah.
All right. And for you, Angie, you come from Greece, so European Union. How was it different for you to adjust to ISAE-SUPAERO way of teaching?
Well, first of all, I did my bachelor's in Ireland. Sorry, we have the door. Yeah, we're just next to each other. So I did my bachelor's in Ireland actually, in mechanical manufacturing. So I think it wasn't as big of a shock coming here. The nicest thing was just the variety of classes at the start. You know, I had never done anything related to aerospace, so suddenly we got to try all these different things about the field, and it didn't matter if you didn't have that background. Every professor was happy to answer questions. I think the biggest change was just the French mentality is you do a lot more in class. So there'd be maybe some longer classes, maybe 2-3 hours, but it's a lot less focus of here, we're dumping material on you to read by yourselves at home. It's very interactive. You do it all in class. That was the biggest difference I saw.
Okay, super interesting. So you had extra courses to catch up with the aerospace engineering domain during the first year?
Not for me, but it is available for others. So if you did aerospace or mechanical, you're put in one path where you basically get to build up on the skills that you already learned, like aerodynamics or structures, etc. And you made it more specific to planes and space, of course. But then if you did, let's say we have loads of people that did physics as a background or electrical engineering or the stuff that is not as mechanical or aerospace, there is a different path they can take, and they are introduced to those classes, and then they merge with the rest of the class so that everybody is brought to the same level.
Super, thank you. And how about, so you both chose your major, I guess. Can you tell us about your research project and your major?
So my research project is on panel methods for aeropropulsive architecture. So my research involves developing an aerodynamics tool where the aircraft's engine and aerodynamics like airfoils and wings are studied together. So I deal mostly in theoretical aerodynamics and a lot of coding. So it's not like I do like most of my other colleagues, they do a lot of CFD, but I don't do that. I only use it for validation. But it is pretty fun to work in the project because I work with another person as well. We both collaborate on a lot of things, and the supervisor we have is also very open and very easy to work with. He's open to anything. Basically, it is us who is driving the project, not him. So also, it's pretty fun to work in that project.
Super. How about you, Angie?
So I'm in space systems, and my project is in collaboration with one of the rocketry clubs here at SUPAERO. So it's a project that is put out by the CNES, the French Space Agency, and it's for student rocketry to build a bioliquid demonstrator. So my project kind of fits into the club to help add more hours, especially supervised hours of work. And what I do is we have this engine that was built by Ariane Group, and they tested it. So we are now trying to improve the performance of that engine by redesigning the injectors. And we're doing a full feasibility study of where did the previous design fail? How can we improve it now? And there is a lot of building a new Python tool for performance prediction, but also through the club, we also get to do some practical testing, like maybe make some new designs, test them with water, and see the results.
Wow, fascinating. Different question, like, are you guys into different groups or clubs outside of studying? Because I tend to know that ISAE-SUPAERO also offer a wide range of different clubs or technical and also extracurriculum activities. Are you guys taking this chance to be part of one of those? I know maybe Fanny, you're part of the HATES project.
Yes, and you can.
Yes, I'm part of the Hades project, where we work on hydrogen aircraft, like future of aviation, to have sustainable aviation, which is a goal by 2050. So that's one group that I work with, and there's a new one that I joined recently. It is called New Raves, so where we work on bio-inspired aircraft. So we are sort of building a flapping wing bird to just see how it works and all. And there are also SUPAERO Propulsion Lab, so where I work on designing smaller engines for UAVs, actually.
Okay. Yeah, there was also maybe I will ask my question later. Maybe Angie, you can tell us about if you are part of some clubs.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You got it? Okay. So I spend a lot of my time with the rocketry club because that's what I really wanted to do in SUPAERO as well, which was with the propulsion. But besides that, there are so many technical clubs that it's kind of hard to choose from. So I had that one, and then there are lots of sports and also arts association clubs. So I go to the climbing one as well, whether they have a professional instructor actually coming from one of the nearby climbing gyms. So if you're a complete beginner, he can show you and he can help you improve. And then the club also goes out to other clubs in the city, sometimes to climb a bit more than once a week. And a lot of the times the clubs from the art associations have open nights. So for example, since we're in France, they do wine and cheese tastings, and they teach you about how to appreciate the flavors and the aromas. So those are open invitation, and many times there are like nice conferences as well to go from some clubs. There is a club that does an analog mission to Mars. So they select a team every year that goes to Utah, and they are astronauts for a month essentially. And very often they also invite other students to participate in to conferences and talk about some thematics in the space industry. And they invite speakers from nearby research labs as well to moderate and give us like a more industrial point of view.
Great. And I always wonder, where do you find times to do all these extra activities when you have classes from Monday to Friday, right? Can you please tell us what is the normal week?
Timetable is quite balanced in the end, in the sense that if we have class, it probably won't result in having too much to do in the evening unless there's an assignment due, and there's always sufficient time to do that. So for example, our Thursday afternoons are almost always free, and a lot of the activities tend to take place there. Then on Fridays, we finish relatively early, even if there's a French class on. And usually there are activities every evening, so we coordinate with everybody's schedule to organize sessions, especially for the technical clubs. But I'd say nobody I don't think that there would be anybody that has struggled to fit at least a couple of activities. It's a very vibrant campus, and the schedule allows for it.
Good. Maybe one question to Fanny, who, when you arrive, you arrive from far away. Did you use Toolbox system, and how was this experience for you?
Yes, I did use Toolbox, and it was great that we had that, because the first thing was that they arranged my taxi from my airport, and after that went to validate my visa. So if you're a non-European, you have to come and validate your visa here within 3 months after arriving in France. So you make an appointment with the Toolbox. They'll help you out with that. They'll also help with CAF as well. That is the monthly allowance you get from the French government for your rent. They also help you out with local SIM also, and also with bank accounts. So they help you make appointment with the bank, and help you choose the right bank which is suitable for you.
Okay, so it was helping. It was helpful.
Yes, a lot. Yeah.
Good. Okay, maybe we can. A last one. What would you tell our students who are listening to you now about advice? Any advice you would give them for the application, for if they start their future life here in France at ISAE-SUPAERO?
I think the first piece of advice is the one I got as well when I was applying, is really make sure to show your motivation. So because as you see, the school has a big component about the passion, and everybody here that teaches or goes here, you can see they're very, very passionate about the field that they're involved in, and the research they get to do in many ways. So to make sure to show that, and that not everybody has started with aerospace, so you can come from very different backgrounds, but just really want to transition now into that field. So in no way is that going to stop you. Like I really had trouble believing that I got accepted with my chances from mechanical, but if you show motivation, if you show that you're a well-rounded individual, you have your activities, you are interested in contributing to the student life outside the classroom, it's very important. And yeah, to also try to show as much diversity in your portfolio as possible. And then also to remember, it's a very, very international campus. So if you show that you not only want to come to ISAE-SUPAERO because it's a very good school, but because you'd also like to experience life in France, to experience what it's like to integrate in the international campus, that is important too.
Super. Thank you so much, Angie. I think it's a good advice. We need passionate engineers, mostly in this field, in aerospace. That's the only way you can get to excellence, is by being passionate, I think. Okay, so we have had a lot of questions so far in the last hour of talking. I will try to see if we can answer together to a few questions. And if we didn't have time to answer your questions, don't worry, it has been all recorded, and we can answer your question maybe directly through emails, etc. And of course, all this will be forwarded to you, the recording and the presentation. All right, so there's a lot of questions, guys.
Yeah, a lot of questions. I guess a lot of questions about scholarships.
Okay, like what?
Like the one from, well, let me check. From Samuel was up.
Yes, what was it about?
My third question is if one applicant received one of scholarship, then who will pay the 1,000 euro down payment?
Yes, maybe I can precise this process. So if you are admitted to the program, you will receive the notification around January 23rd, I think. And the notification for the scholarship will come about 2 weeks after. Usually it's by the beginning of February. And then after that date, you have about 3 weeks to confirm your admission in the program. It's an important step. So confirming how does it work, well, you receive a letter of admission which tells you everything you need to do to confirm your admission. So you will need to fill in online a few extra information we'll ask you, and also we'll ask you to make a down payment of €1,000 deducted from your total tuition fees, and this will be asked for us to book your spot in the master program. Once you're done this, you are considered as a pre-registered student in the master program for 2024-2026. And you will start receiving like how to create your email address, etc. You're really considered as a student once you're registered. Even if you have been the lucky one who have been chosen for a scholarship, you will need to make that €1,000 down payment. It's for all students because we need to make sure we book your spot in the master program. And of course, if you have a scholarship that provide a full tuition fee waiver, this €1,000 will be reimbursed to you when you arrive on campus in September. Okay. So every time you receive an admission, you have about 3 weeks to confirm this admission in the program. After this date, you cannot confirm anymore. We will give the spot to next students from the next admission sessions.
I see another question about the
Yeah.
scholarships and the letter of recommendation.
Okay.
Only motivation is needed, or do we have to provide separate letter of recommendations for the scholarship?
No, only a motivation letter for the scholarship applications.
Okay.
The admission committee will look at your recommendations for the Master of Science. Also, we can definitely, I think, if Angie and Fanny are okay, share their contacts with you if you have any direct questions. Every students, every year, we accept about 135 students in the master program. So that's to tell you between 130 and 150 maximum that can be accepted in the Master of Science every year.
Do we have any students from Sri Lanka? I don't know. To
possible.
Be honest.
Every year it's different. But I'm sure students from India will be also able to help you maybe for a few things. Sri Lanka this year and the past year, I don't think so. Not yet, but we're happy to welcome. So, yeah, I think that's already a lot of questions that we answered. And once again, if we forgot any subjects, we're sorry, and we will make sure to complete it in the email I will send you. So you are all here today. I have all your emails, and you will all receive an email with the detail of this the presentation and the replay. So we'll make sure all your questions are answered. All right. I think I will put an end to this meeting unless we have no more questions. I want to thank you so much, Angie and Fanny, for joining us and share about the experience. Thank you, Joël, for all your technical details about the Master of Science. And thank you all of you who came to listen to us today for 1 hour. We hope you received the maximum information you could. Reminder that, yes, maybe contact. If you have any question, it will be this email address that you can write. It's going to be mostly me who will answer you for all your questions about the Master of Science. Feel free to follow ISAE-SUPAERO on social media. You'll have also a lot of information about what's going on that can give you ideas about your motivation letter, to know all the research that are ongoing and everything that is happening on campus. And yes, you can also download the leaflet of the Master of Science here through this QR code. I will also be sending it to you by email. All right, thank you so much, everyone, and hope to be in contact with you soon. Probably see you soon here in France or abroad if you happen to pass by our next exhibition fairs happening in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.